Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Samantha, our producer's here. Hello, Sam.
Hello.
You know, I just tried to put my hands into an invisible hoodie that I'm not wearing.
Wow.
I'm not having a good, I'm having a bad old man week. I'm having an old man week.
Well, you're not.
I'm recovering from
back
vacation.
from vacation.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not. But it's Wednesday. I mean, I should be back from vacation, right? Why does it take 3 full days to, like, get the wagon moving again?
Well, because, as you slow down towards death,
Wow.
everything stops working.
Yeah, I can feel it.
Yeah.
Definitely can feel
your
it.
brain, your body,
Yeah.
although
My brain,
My
body.
body.
I need to use the potty.
some people faster than others.
Yeah, true.
Not
I'm the
everybody's the
fastest.
same.
I'm the fastest. They call me the sprinter, sprinting to death. What do we got to plug? What's on the agenda today?
Orlando Science Center, August 19th and 20th. They have Engineering Week if you want to check that out. They also have Science Night Live, the all-adult night. You can go to the Science Center and hang out and drink some adult beverages.
Yeah, buddy.
That's August 26th. And, of course, dog exhibition.
The Bounty Hunter.
The dog exhibition.
Yeah.
The Science of Dogs is still going on till September. So
It's
you
a
can still check that out.
It is a really, really good, installation there with these massive dogs. Perfect for taking photos. Lots of science involved.
Listen, it's indoors. Take your kids there and enjoy the air conditioning.
Yeah, it's got air
You sit
conditioning.
there. The kids will have a great day. They will not be able to do all the things they have. Every single time I go to the Science Center, the kids only do like 1/3 of
You
the
can't get
amount
through it all.
of
Here's what I
stuff they
say.
have.
At its worst, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
That's what I say.
All right, let's do some emails.
Yeah, we have really been neglecting the email, and apparently all of you guys have done some, schooling over the vacation because, man, are people writing. And I thought we had moved past writing. We're done with that, right? Isn't
I like
everything
it.
voice to text? Now everything's voice to text.
With the younger generation, I feel like our listeners still.
Some people don't like to
typing.
hear their voices.
Yeah,
Some
yeah.
people get nervous when they leave a voicemail. So.
Okay, all right, here we go.
And I think when you write an email, you actually sit and think about what you're writing, right? And then you can review it before you post it. And
Most emails we get are more kind than the voicemails because, yeah, I do think you give it a beat. There is it's a little less reactionary than a voicemail.
Yeah.
All right, first email. Here we go.
Am I the a-hole parking in the shade? What's up? Did that ever go away, or did what's up follow us like a string of toilet paper for the last nearly 25 years?
I think it went away.
I digress.
Well, it's a certain generation that's stuck in their head.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You go out on Lake Conway, and the drunk guys on the boats, they're screaming, "What's up?" to
Yeah.
each other across
Yeah,
the
yeah.
lake.
Those Bud Light
Yeah.
frogs.
Yeah. My dad
Oh, they don't
like-
do Bud Light anymore.
Yeah,
No,
my
no.
dad did not like the Bud Light frogs.
Anti-frog.
He's like, just use a proper English. What do you do?
Too urban for him. Pull your frog pants up.
Exactly. I
I'll
can
see
see
your frog
I
ass.
can see your frog ass.
It says, I'm between jobs right now, and I'm doing gig work to tide me over. The only ones I didn't get put on the wait list for were Uber Eats and Spark, which is the Walmart delivery. Just picked up an order at Walmart, and there was one spot in the pickup area in the
Spark.
shade,
I'm sorry.
and it was the spot furthest away from the door. Am I the a-hole for parking in the shady spot and making the Walmart employees walk further into the sun so I don't have to be in it? I think in general I would be, but I also hop out of my nice, cool car and help them load my trunk when they come out. Much love to you all. Well, they have designated parking spaces
For the pickup. Yeah.
right? So if it was that space and it was in the shade, it's fine.
Yeah,
But
I
if
think
it's
you're
the
good.
farthest
But if it's
one,
not, it's fine.
Well,
don't
they
do
want
it
to stretch their legs.
Hold on.
Please do not do some Tom overthinking on this. If there are 4 spots,
I'm
If there are
thinking the proper amount.
no, you're not. If you're
Yeah,
you're wasting time, and you're always worried
Get
about
to
wasting
work.
time. You got to think a little faster.
Quit thinking,
If there's
start working.
4 parking spots, 3 are in the sun and 1 is in the shade, and they're all for pickup, and you hit the one in the shade, you're still on task. You got it.
Yeah.
Well,
And you're
Walmart.
helping them load your car.
I wouldn't.
You
do
don't
that.
have to do
I
that.
don't do that with ABC. I
Hold
pop
on.
the trunk, they put it in, and I drive away.
Parking in the shade is for when you leave your car. Not when you're sitting in there.
Well, she has to sit there and wait for
Yeah.
them to come out. And
She's gonna
sometimes
wait a
those
little bit.
Walmart employees, they'll take their damn time.
Yeah,
No,
because they
but-
go out there and smoke a cigarette first. I know how it works.
When the car's running, you have AC. So
You do.
There's no,
But it
there's
is
not
cool.
that much benefit.
But it is cooler in the shade.
Yeah, but by a small margin because you're running your AC.
Okay, well that's for you to debate. But she's asking, are you an a-hole for doing that? And the answer is no. No, you're not.
I think it's fine.
Well, hold on. Walmart. I've been to the Walmart pickup because
No, you haven't. You've said you never go to Walmart. Now you're lying.
Well, no, inside.
Oh,
and
you
I
never
do.
step foot in a Walmart.
I've had to go inside Walmart for
I love
emergencies.
It's so nice.
Ooh, emergency
It's-
Walmart stuff.
It's
It's
not
so
nice.
nice.
It's
It's
not
so
nice.
nice. The savings are nice.
It is. Order a line. Anyway, the Walmart pickup is an insane amount of parking spaces. It's like 20 parking spaces. So the end one.
Not at my Walmart.
No?
No. At max 10.
I don't know what we have up here
Well,
at
the one on Colonial actually does
It's a
have
lot.
a lot. The one on Colonial does.
Yeah, so in my Walmart, the Castleberry Walmart, which you
I'm
need
glad
a lot
you
of
take-
Which
I'm
everybody goes to.
I'm glad you take ownership of that.
It's like
It's half the parking lot.
you could park pretty close. I mean,
Can
we're
we just
talking
stop
about
saying Castleberry Walmart and just
30.
say Castleberry is a Walmart?
well, okay, but
Walmartception.
going back to parking in the shade with your car running, I don't think that helps that much.
Yeah, it does.
It does?
Yeah, because there's sun coming through your windshield,
Yeah, well, it's also.
heating up your entire car.
But when you're driving around, there's sun heating up your
You've
car.
never
all
been
the time.
driving in a car and had sun hit your legs so much you can feel it heating up.
Or your arm, yeah.
Usually,
I did that on my road trip on the way home, and I rolled the window down and
Yeah.
did the redneck move where you put a T-shirt through the window.
Yeah, when you're on a road trip and the sun is stationary for long periods of time.
Well, I'm
it
sitting in
burns
my
your
car.
legs.
It's stationary.
Yeah,
Well,
this guy just likes arguing.
I'm just saying, if you're in your car,
I'm at the point with
the-
the listeners now where you have tried to cloak what you have appeared. You've come up with this idea that you have the proper amount of thinking and that whatever you say is the right way
Yeah,
of
yeah.
it being thought out. And it's wrong. It's absolutely wrong.
I just want someone to explain it to me. Like,
I did. There's sun still coming through. If
Yeah.
you're parked in the shade, less sun in your car. Boom.
Okay.
Easy. Science. Sunshine.
I will stop commenting
No,
on
you don't need to
our
stop.
talk show about our
No,
listeners'
no,
emails.
It's not stop commenting. It's just don't, when we explain
Just
it
say-
to you, go, you're right.
It's got to be
instead
a
of-
conversation.
Yeah.
It can't be, no, this is what it is.
Well,
Because that's your opinion.
No, I understand. I'm just trying to make a joke about it.
No, I didn't know it was a joke.
Well,
Jokes are typically funny, like funny stuff.
Let's read the email and just say, all right, next email.
Very good.
Yeah, very good. Move on. Like that's what.
So that's
other-
that's two versus one.
Yeah.
Dan and I think you are not the a-hole. Tom thinks that you are the a-hole.
Yeah, Tom thinks you're an a-hole and that it doesn't matter much. If you're in the sun, your car is going to stay about the same as it would be if you were in the shade. That makes sense to me.
If your car's on, like I
Right.
understand
Well,
leaving
we're-
it.
I think we're all assuming the car is on because it's 105 degrees
Could
outside.
not have AC though. You never know.
Okay,
right?
next one.
All right. It says, image highfalutin Goodwill. So my 13-year-old daughter and I traveled from South Daytona to Port Orange, passing 2 Goodwill stores in order to shop at the highfalutin Goodwill in the good old rich people mecca, Port Orange, Florida. Because everybody knows that thrift stores in more affluent areas is where you get the good stuff. I literally made a post about this the other day. That is true. If you go to the richer neighborhoods, they have the better stuff
True.
at Goodwill.
Like Plato's Closet. Like
It depends.
There's
yeah.
some, but the ones that you hit that are outside of better neighborhoods have better gear.
Yeah.
Well, they're giving away more expensive garbage.
Right.
Sure.
We really like this particular Goodwill because they actually trust their shoppers and have dressing rooms. Unlike the one in Holly Hill in Daytona Beach, where they stopped people from using the dressing rooms. On account of people going into the dressing room and layering 9 pairs of camo and khaki shorts and 12 NASCAR shirts, only to awkwardly waddle towards the cashier with a $1.25 pair of used boxers. To my daughter and my surprise, our Golden Goose Port Orange Goodwill store had removed all the dressing rooms at their location. As I figured out this tragic turn of events, I shook my fist to the sky and yelled, "God damn you white trash people." My hidden secret was out. Other white trash people must have ruined it for us all. And there goes my back-to-school shopping for the sweet, sweet low price of $8 and change. All was not lost, though, as, too, my daughter was wearing spandex and was able to slip on a sweet pair of Wranglers, and I found something that I've wanted for a while, but I can't afford the jacked-up price of this particular item. To my chagrin, I found this badass Tom and Dan shirt for the much more appropriate price of $1.99, only 49 cents more than my past limit high price of used boxer shorts. So I guess our yearly journey to the highfalutin Goodwill was not a total bust. P.S. When I got home, I was eager to try on my new Tom and Dan shirt when I noticed that the armpits were all stained yellow.
That's probably mine.
How in the world can you stain a gray shirt yellow?
All my shirts. I can stain a black shirt yellow pits.
One of my fist shakes to the sky, goddamn you white trash people. Psst, it's psst, but it's PSS. Also was not lost, as any well-respected white trashman cut off the sleeves to expose my sweet barbed wire tat. Victory is mine.
Oh, nice.
Now, the shirt in question is the Wildman shirt, which I
Yes.
believe was a green shirt. Not
yeah,
gray.
No, it's green in that picture. It's
well,
just
he
like
says gray shirt, so
it printed weird, I think. Or did we do a reboot of the Wildman?
I don't think so. I think it faded to gray.
No, it didn't. It didn't go from green to gray. It
I
had
mean-
to have been. We may have
Maybe
made a
he
gray one.
overwashed it.
I thought we did a second version.
I think we did.
I
a
think we did a
couple
second version.
Small runs of different color.
It's all
ones.
running
Yeah.
together now. All my shirts, I sweat a lot. You guys don't sweat as much as me, so I bet you and Sam both don't have. Well, Sam especially. I've never seen a woman that has yellow pit stains. Never.
I have.
Really?
Yeah.
So there's a thing, and this ties into this listener's email, in gambling where if you know a particular trend that people bet on, like for instance, if the away team has a bye or what, there's certain trends that people like that are popular that people are like, oh, that's, for instance, this preseason coming up, the Baltimore Ravens haven't lost a preseason game in like 25 games in a row. They won 26. There's like a record in the NFL, obviously. That'll never be broken because they haven't lost in like 5 years preseason.
Sure.
So everybody knows that. So therefore, the value of the bet is now gone because everybody knows it, right?
Right.
And so the same thing applies for all these tips and tricks with people trying to get value on like, oh, go to the rich neighborhood thrift store. That's where the good stuff is. If you know it, everybody knows it. And therefore, they've picked through all the good stuff. And when you get there, nothing's going to be there.
You know where it happened again is sriracha. There's a shortage on sriracha.
Mm-hmm.
The original one made by, I forget the name of the company, like Hung Fo or something like that. But the one that everybody sees that's in the bottle with the green top.
Yeah.
And you
the
can't
standard.
you can't find it. It's nowhere. But Andrea and I were onto this like trick. You had to go to like coastal towns. If you could hit up like a Winn-Dixie or a Publix on the beach, for some reason, less people were using the sriracha. I don't know if it's a city thing. I don't know if there's less Asian restaurants on the beach. That sort of makes sense, right? I mean, like, most of your Asian restaurants, stereotypically, are like in a downtown area or a strip mall, or like we have Little Saigon here, where it's just all Vietnamese restaurants that are awesome, right? So you go to a coastal area, and, man, we were scooping up sriracha like crazy. Finding it. Yeah, we found it in Myrtle Beach. Tons of sriracha, because it's just not getting used.
Right.
But we've been trying it lately. Can't find it. People are onto it. They're like, or just the natural use of sriracha is like whittling it down, rather. But it used to be that a tip for people, I would tell people, oh, you can't find sriracha? Next time you're at the beach, swing through a Publix, swing through a Winn-Dixie, you'll find it.
See,
not anymore.
I buy a lot of sriracha, and I can't tell a difference between like the Tabasco brand sriracha or any other brand sriracha, and then the
lucky you, man.
The stereotypical sriracha. They
I
all
wish I
taste the
couldn't tell
same.
the difference. I wish I couldn't. Andrea bought the Texas Pete one. I don't like it.
But it's sriracha, right?
It's sriracha. Yeah. It's Texas Pete brand sriracha, but it's just not.
What's different about it?
I can't tell you. I wish it may be nothing. It may just be the bottle.
Well, that is nothing.
I know you want that, but it's
then it's just mental.
I know you don't live with any feelings, but it's whatever. I look at the bottle and I'm like, I taste it.
There's a difference in ketchup. Like Heinz and Hunt's taste different.
Hunt's is a little
mayonnaise.
Sweeter, I believe.
And then, like,
Duke's is tangier.
Yeah, but with sriracha, no one's been able to express to me the exact difference, or at least
I can give you one. The
like
Texas
one
Pete one
sweeter-
is hotter, and it has a little bit more of a forward pepper flavor, like more Tex-Mex.
Okay.
And it's supposed to be Asian.
Right.
All right. Yeah. No, that I can get. If you can give me an.
But here's the part you're gonna hate.
Oh.
I say that, but it might just be the bottle.
Yeah. Well, I, knew
I have to say that.
psychological.
I
As you
have
said
to
it,
say
I
it.
knew it was it's not actual real. It was just the way you felt about
And I
it.
knew you knew. I knew you knew. That's why this works. Next email.
Okay. Tom's Tell. Hey, show. I picked up on this recently, and I've been listening to test my hypothesis. Tom has a terrible tell when he's lying.
Don't tell it. Don't know. Then save that. And then we'll do the company poker tournament at the end of the year.
I think that's happening soon. Real Radio's poker tournament
Yeah, we're
that
not.
we were not invited to.
We're not at that. We're not going to that.
I'll tell you if this is correct, but
I know what it
already
is.
don't think it is because I don't really lie, especially on the
My-
show.
Well, like lying or
Exaggerate,
like,
maybe.
What about like alluding? What about holding something like not to,
Omitting the truth?
like not? Yeah, just like not saying anything.
Oh, well, that's not lying. That's pleading
I'm not
the
saying
fifth.
it's lying. I'm not saying. Hold on. I'm not
Yeah.
saying it's lying. But you don't. A tell can be for something where you're uncomfortable. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're lying. It can be that you're in a situation where you're nervous, and then you're showing something. That's the tell.
Okay, yeah. All right.
He says, yeah, in response to a question, but he doesn't actually mean to answer
That's
in the,
not true.
in the
No.
affirmative.
That's not a tell.
He just wants you to continue with whatever you're saying. This most often occurs when Dan asks if anyone remembers some pop culture reference or show or commercial or song that serves as the context for an upcoming story. Tom's a liar. He's the bad one.
Whoa.
Tom, go ahead and claim your trailer is homemade. It's just par for the course now.
So he's saying you lie all the time, and when you lie, you say yeah.
No, I say yeah. I
No,
do this
that's
to my
dude,
wife.
That's
She-
yes and. That's just yes and for the show. That's not a tell.
Yeah.
I'll defend you.
Oh,
on
you
that.
just said it! Oh, it's a natural yeah.
Oh, it's just the move. It's the move.
He's lying. He's lying.
No. That's
Now it's no. He went from yeah to no.
Yeah.
When it's
Say
really no.
That's
You
the-
be saying yeah.
It's to move you along and dismiss whatever you're saying so I can talk.
Yes, that is true. That is true.
It's like,
Well, hold on,
I do
that's
this
the
to my
correct
wife all the
answer.
time. Like, she's talking, and I'm like, oh, I can't wait
You
to
just
talk.
agree so they'll get through it so
Yeah.
you get to what you
Well,
want.
I think we
almost
both
did
do
it
that.
again.
I
think we
know.
both do. Okay, want me to give you a real one that I've noticed? There's a real one I've
It's not
noticed.
lying, though.
And I don't think it has to do with lying, because I'm just going to go on this as a tell. I have one too. I'll give you mine first. There used to be a tell I'd have when I was telling a lie on the morning show or even on this show. I don't think I do it so much anymore, but when I was like spinning a yarn and trying to get people to go along, I would take my hand and kind of push my palm into my eye and move my eye like this, like scratch it.
Yeah.
And it was always a tell. It was always a
Wow.
tell.
That's super obvious.
No, I can't stop.
No. Yeah. Rub my eye. And then, like, the one that I see him do, and I don't know what it is connected to, but I think it's when you're thinking, and I think it's a comfort thing. It's almost like a cigarette. I used to love having a cigarette when I was
Sure.
writing. It was like a thing for me. You'll push your head.
Yeah, I've seen him do
You
that.
push
yeah.
your, right here, you push or itch your head, and I'm like, he's thinking
Yeah, you
about
start
something.
grinding like you're
Yeah,
grinding
you
a
grind
booger
your
in there.
head. You booger grind your head.
Yeah.
Well, it's to try to stimulate my brain.
You're like, come on, brain, kick in.
Yeah, it's like a weed eater. It's just like, why it won't start. Push the bulb.
Prime it.
Yeah, like push my forehead.
And then I have a really bad one that I've been trying to break where I grab my penis at all times,
Yeah.
no matter where I'm at. Could be sitting here, could be at TGI Fridays, Buffalo Wild Wings, teacher-parent conference. It's a thing. I'll just start doing like a grab.
The
Grab
chat is now comparing Tom to Kanye West. The Kanye quote, "I'ma let you finish." The yeah.
That's a bad habit of speech pattern that I have is the yeah.
Well, you're
because
not listening fully.
Neither of
Again,
us
you're
are.
just waiting for your turn to talk instead of
Yes.
actually listening to the response.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fun.
I'm
It's fun.
listening.
It is fun.
But I want someone to
Let me
challenge
talk.
me or engage me. in
We
something.
tried to, and then you just got mad about it and said you're not
Yeah.
going to comment
And
on
you
the
said you're
emails
gonna
anymore.
shut down. I was just screwing around.
Well, you said that I have to ask on everything. That's what my wife
Well,
says.
you do, though. Let's be
Yeah,
fair.
no, I know, but
This is so fun. This is yeah. This is so
it's
fun.
because if someone tells me something and I want to go somewhere with it, like, why is that? Or
Right,
maybe
right,
what
right.
you're thinking
Take the journey.
isn't true, or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
if they
Let's
just
study it.
if they were just telling me something just to tell me, then I'll give them a yeah.
Okay.
Because it not that I didn't listen to them. I was just like that. They weren't like asking me a question. They weren't telling me something that could be challenged. It's just like, here's something I have to get off my chest, and I'm going to tell you. But you can't do anything with it. It's not interesting. It's a nothing.
Well, it could be interesting to other people, though.
Well, a lot of things my wife tells me I think is interesting to no one. I think if you were listening to it, if we were doing a show, me and my wife were doing a show, and we had listeners, I think they would be like, come on, get to the good part. Like, it's
Come on, I hope he throws a yeah in here soon.
Yeah, like, do you want to start an argument? Are you telling me an interesting fact? Or are you just telling me some mundane thing that no one cares about? Then I'll give you the yeah.
I do that a lot too. Like to not to come to her defense, but I do a lot of I do a lot of statements that I'm saying the statement. I mean, you do it too, but I don't know.
I want some sort of engagement, some sort of like, are we discussing an interesting topic?
Yeah.
Are you telling me something that we can argue about, or at least
do you want that so bad that you're willing to fabricate the continuation of the discussion? Because what if there's nothing to discuss? But would your brain force you to be like, no, I'm gonna like,
I'll try
I'll
to
even
find
engage this from a different angle to keep it moving?
Oh yeah,
because in that case, it's not genuine.
It is,
and there'd be no reason to even investigate it because there's no reason to investigate it. There's no reason to extend the story.
But the reason is to make the conversation interesting, in my mind.
But stretching it out doesn't guarantee it's going to be interesting. It just might be stretching out something that's completely uninteresting. It could be doing the opposite, right?
It could, but then why'd you tell me something uninteresting? I blame the person that's talking.
This is why Tom and I don't talk.
It's wild in there, man. It's wild in there.
Well, Crystal will start talking and tell me something, and then I'll listen to what she's saying and then go through in my mind as like, all right, are there holes in this theory? Is this something that's not true?
Mm-hmm.
Or is it just a nothing? This tree is far away. You're just talking to talk,
right.
And then I have to go through all those different.
That's horrible.
Aspects.
So
of
again,
why.
he's doing this instead of listening. He's going through all these things instead of actually listening to what she's saying.
Well, because.
You do this to me too.
Emotional people do this. Daniel does this all the time, where it's just like, I have to figure out, are you saying something that you want an answer to?
Or are you just venting?
Or are you just
chirping?
Puking it out there.
Yeah, a lot of times.
Are you sneezing it out, and you need some ears
puking
for your sneeze?
I think puking is probably a better example because
you need someone to
word
hold
vomit,
your hair
word vomit,
while I puke it out to make me feel better. But I never know. And then with Daniel, it's real confusing because he's a male, and I'm used to it coming from my wife. So
what's the main difference you see?
What?
Because I mean, there are similarities between the emotional aspect of Crystal and the emotional aspects of me, because there are things that Crystal says that I go, oh man, that's me 100%. Like, I see it.
Well, no, it's all just emotional people will get things off their chest and not want any sort of solution, or they're not.
I am different though. I'm usually looking for a solution. So you have a full pass with me. If I barf at you, you can give me a solution. And I'll never be annoyed, I promise you.
No. You never
I'm
get
not
annoyed.
like the woman aspect. Andrea's like that too. Like, she'll want to vent, but don't tell her what to do with the venting.
Yeah.
That was not I get what you're saying, yes.
But you got to tell the person who doesn't understand.
I'll do that.
Right off the bat, like, hey, and Daniel will do this. He's like, hey, I'm venting. And then I'm like, all right. And then I shut my ears off. because what does it matter if I'm actually listening or not?
Oh, my God.
Hold on. The venter doesn't even care if the person's listening. They just puking it out.
That's where he's wrong.
Oh, no. I mean, you never, say, repeat back to me what I've said.
Why would anyone do that?
I'm not married to you. And it does hurt my feelings, but I have no recourse. I'm not married to you. I have no kids. So I'm like, well, it hurts my feelings, but I'll move on.
You're the bad one, Tom.
I'm not even bad. I'm just telling you the truth.
He is just telling the truth. No, it's not bad.
It could be the truth
it's not
and
bad
bad at the
just to
same
be
time.
who he is. It's not bad.
Yeah.
I get it.
If you just want to get it out, I don't even know why you need another human there. Just tell it to the wall. And that's what I.
Why do you think I talk to Dansby? Why do you think I talk to Dansby? That dog has more. That poor dog. He begs every night to be taken in his sleep.
Well, that's when I realized Andrea is a genius, is because she realized, if I get Daniel a dog,
Stop talking to me.
100% she did that.
A
Oh,
lot
he
of
did. Yeah, again.
1,000%. My wife bought me an awesome dog so she doesn't have to hear my BS. 1,000,000%.
yeah.
That is I have figured that out, and I'm actually okay with it because I love him so much.
Yeah.
But that is what she did. She
He'll-
got tired of hearing my BS.
Or get it out to the dog,
Yeah.
and then that'll take a certain amount.
And it is an emotional support
is.
animal.
Yeah,
It is,
yeah.
100%. And do I need it? Yeah, ask my business partner. He'd say, hell yeah, he needs it. He needs it bad.
The problem is then we get a dog, it's sleeping in our bed, it stinks.
You don't have to let your dog sleep in your bed.
Yeah, well, it's not my choice
yeah.
anyway.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Plus, you already have 2 children that
Sorry,
sleep in there. So.
allow me to weigh in as the emotional person.
You know-
Dog's going to sleep with him. I'm an emotional person. I love sleeping
When
with
do
my
you
dog.
finally kick the boys out of bed?
They have stopped for at least the most part, and now it only happens like maybe once a week now. So it's going to 0.
You shouldn't have brought it up.
Uh,
'Cause
well-
it makes you sad. It does make you sad.
Because eventually
Aren't
it's
you
going to be
glad you're not getting kicked in the nuts every night?
well,
A little of both, good
it's
and bad.
It's a double-sided sword.
Yeah.
It's a tell that they're growing up, and this them being scared or like being younger
Yeah.
babies
The
are
dependency
going
is moving away.
is moving away. So it's kind of sad, so that's why even when they were doing it, we never put our foot down because they're like, eventually it's going to be done,
Yeah.
and then you're going to be sad about it.
I mean, I'll give you crap about it, but I knew what you're doing, and it makes sense because I hate the growing up aspect. I love it, double-edged, right? Like you want to see them grow and you want to see them accomplish, but you also want them to be babies for the rest of their lives, and that's not going to happen.
Yeah, it just it signifies a time period is about to be done with, and then soon. I mean, they both sleep in the same bed, which I'm wondering when that's going to change.
Okay.
It will.
Because eventually, what's going to start happening, and then they're going to want to be in their own rooms. The other day,
Yeah.
they went into
I don't
their
like thinking
rooms
about any of that, dude.
and closed the door to change, and that's a new one. Just like. They wanted some privacy, which has not ever been a thing in our house.
Showers are done officially. I told you guys I'd say that when it happened. It's done. All done.
All right.
Yeah, it's about time, guys.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I mean, it is. Those are these big defining ear markers that any parent listening to this. Well, not any parent, because there are some that don't care about your children, but the ones that do. I know that you know what we're talking about. It's terrible. Terrible earmark.
Yeah.
But also good to see them grow. Next thing
Now
you know,
it's
move
in
on.
my head now. I can't. This stupid listener screwed me up because I can't. I'm doing the yeah.
Just
and
do
now,
it.
And
Now
now,
you're in your head about it.
yeah. Every time I say
Oh.
it.
That was just a 2.
it's like this my horrible laugh that I used
I
to
loved
do.
your laugh.
Yeah, but I stopped it.
Don't
I-
change for one guy.
Everybody shames Tom, and they stop. Well,
You tell me not
Well,
to change for one.
depends.
It
Listen.
wasn't. It was a lot. It wasn't one. you get like it was a lot of people complaining about that laugh.
I really didn't get that much.
And well, it was a common theme of like people like I can't listen to this guy's laugh. Like when it was happening, I noticed it was like it was more than just one person's opinion. And then I was like, it is kind of annoying. Why am I laughing like that? But I beat it out of myself.
my God.
I changed it.
Yeah, you did.
I'll change the
if
yeah
only
too.
I could change more about it. I got him on
I'll change
Adderall. All right, this one says, Tom and Dan Bad at Business Music Festival. Hey show, I was just listening to a BDM recap and thought that you guys could actually pull it off. Between the 3 of you and the people you know, this could have been done years ago. Think of just the list of local people you know. The supervillains, the weather guy that was on Fox 35, Jim Van Fleet, Tiffany, Bubba, Jeff, Frank Turner, the rapper. I don't know Frank Turner, the rapper. I know Frank Turner, the folk singer.
And he's thinking Chris Turner.
Oh, Chris Turner. Kat Ridgway, D-Rug, Gargamel, the guy who did the Irish rap, people that kept in touch with from the Porch Fest, singers from Fringe. You already have people that would pay for sponsoring, and you also have people you could ask to set
The
up
worst music festival
set
ever.
up and
They
sell
got
food
a terrible
and drinks.
lineup.
Now
Like-
here's where the bad at business part comes in.
Like the Irish rice guy, and then Gargamel. Gargamel be good.
Make
Real
the
good.
tickets $75, but $10 from each ticket goes to Yellow Brick Road College Fund that's starting up.
I'm not starting a college fund.
Tootin' on a fish whistle.
No.
BDM for life, Laszlo. P.S. I would drive from North Carolina if you could get Scott Staff to sing Creed's songs.
We
LOL.
can get Scott Staff. I'll just find a man named Scott Staff to sing Creed songs.
Sure.
That is a drunk email. I like that email.
Well, he said he was tooted.
So,
oh, yeah. You were definitely tooting.
Tooted and zooted.
The business aspect of a music festival is you get a bunch of well-known bands.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. You know, we did it this year. We'll probably do it next year unless something happens in between now. But the Porch Fest itself is a music festival that we're a part of.
Yeah.
I mean, we have our own porch.
Yeah.
We do.
And so I think he is thinking, well, if you can do it, why not do it? Like, yes, we could ask a bunch of friends
The
that we know.
beer fest alone is already a ton of work.
Yeah,
we don't need to
Man.
add a
And we're-
music fest
and we're
on top.
Trying to make
But-
that better. We were talking about it yesterday, all day.
We
We do have live music, though.
We'd do a music festival if we thought it was going to be a super popular idea. And the problem is that the sought-after bands you have to pay
A
right?
lot.
Yes.
And even like
It's
some of
gone
the
up,
some of
too.
the bands you mentioned, supervillains, we have to pay them.
Yeah, we can't
Yeah,
afford
like-
supervillains. Are you
like,
crazy?
They get paid to do music festivals currently, and Cat Ridgeway and everybody on that list you have to pay, right? So then to do that, you have to pay them out of ticket sales, right? So you can't give away 75% of the ticket sales to charity.
Yeah.
You have to pay the bands,
And
right?
college. Do you know how much college costs?
Then you to have it at a venue or some sort of open, like let's say the fairgrounds or whatever.
Oh
like,
my God! What would
so
that cost?
You got to rent the fairgrounds, right? And then that comes with insurance, and then you have to get a
What
certain
do you think
amount
it
of
costs
police.
to rent the fairgrounds? 15,000?
You know how much?
10,000?
You know how much
lot.
cops are just for because with
Like
a big
security.
big enough event, you got to hire
I don't.
off-duty cops. They're like $150 an hour or whatever per
Jesus.
cop or whatever. So then that's $1,000 of that
What
of
if they
security.
just say they're cops?
Well, you could do security. But it
Like
depends
fat
on
guys.
what's in
Can-
your
can
insurance.
we just get fat guys?
If you do music festivals, I think to be able to even get it insured, you have to have X amount of security, and it has to be police. Like they don't let you
Oh,
get
they have to be off duty.
biker gangs anymore. You know what I'm saying? It's not
Man,
the
the
Woodstock
good
of
old
the
days, you
60s.
could get a couple Hell's Angels out there,
Yeah, and
a
then
couple of stabbing knives.
and the biggest problem is we're not going to have the groupings of bands that are going to draw the mass amount of people you would need to pull this off to be successful, right?
Right.
Because that's so
No offense to any of the bands we mentioned.
No,
It's just
but
we're not. It's
they're
not like
all-
we're putting Taylor Swift on the bill.
they're all different. You know, when let's say when Earth Day, Birthday, or whatever, what was the big one? Rockville, right? You've got like a dozen of the biggest name rock bands in
You've
the
got Tool,
world,
for
right?
Christ's sake.
You know, so when you have that many big names, like obviously you have to pay those big names, but you could charge a huge ticket price and you could attract, how many people were there? 150,000 or something?
A
You know?
lot, yeah.
And
Yeah, a
so,
lot.
and then with that amount of money, you could pay, but the promoters of that make a lot of money. Now, on the opposite side of that, look at that. Remember the festival that they tried to do at the Citrus Bowl?
You're talking about Orlando Calling?
Yeah, Orlando Calling. That was a huge failure.
Yeah.
And they had big
Yeah,
names
real
of that.
bad. They had Bob Seger, Kid Rock,
Yeah.
and Bob Seger and Kid Rock.
Didn't they have like the Avett Brothers and like they had a bunch of other obscure, like
Yeah,
not obscure, but like
they had big
popular.
Yeah, they had popular bands. I think the Killers were on that. Maybe.
Yeah, and so like even like
yeah, the Killers, Rockin' Tours,
Oh, they had the Roots.
the Pixies, the Roots, Gorgo Bordello, OAR,
talk to Paul Williams
Drive-By Truckers,
about like what it takes to put on the hurricane party and
Ooh.
all like
the
coordinating.
Supervillains. They played. Sorry.
You put all the
there
bands.
you go. See, told you we couldn't afford them.
Dwight Yoakam.
And then a lot of those bands you have to put up. So if
Yeah.
they're traveling from outside, or
Sometimes they
whatever,
require airfare too.
yeah,
Everything.
So then you gotta have all of that, and then
He did say it was going to be bad at business, though. So
Well, the worst part about that business is charging $75
Yeah.
because no one's gonna pay that.
No.
that's actually cheap now compared to other festival
yeah, but at
tickets.
least the bill's good. What Tom's saying
Yeah.
is that we're asking for $75 and we got local bands.
You know what's
It's not gonna
weird?
work.
Crystal mentioned to me the Avett Brothers are playing in Tampa, and
Mm-hmm.
and they're playing a part of a festival,
Mhm.
and tickets were only like $35.
Oh, that's
And,
nice.
and then I was
That's
like,
a good ticket.
$35.
Yeah,
Like, what is
that's a
this?
good ticket. You should snag a couple.
2003?
Yeah,
Like,
you should get a couple of those.
well, there must be a reason
I mean,
why.
even tickets for Jawbreaker. I wanted to see Jawbreaker. They're going to be at House of Blues soon. And I think those tickets are $60.
Yeah. Every ticket to every
And that's a
concert
punk rock
is
band. You know,
crazy
like-
expensive.
Ah,
$60.
It's Willie Nelson's Outlaw Music Festival.
Okay, Willie Nelson's involved.
Oh, that would be
and-
great.
Yeah, but that's crazy how cheap the tickets are, right?
Yeah, that's
For
a good-
$35.
That's a good price.
It's
I would go to that if I
It's
could.
insane. I mean, maybe is parking another 25 or they have to hide something in there. It can't just be $35. The cheapest ticket in town that we've ever heard of. That's what I told Crystal. I was like, this doesn't sound right. Maybe that's the advertised price. There's only going to be 200 of those
And that's
available.
probably before
Is it just
fees
for
and
the
taxes,
Avett Brothers, or is they a
It's
ticket
for the
price
whole-
for the day?
For the festival. Like, it's all
Yeah,
part of the
that
festival.
doesn't sound right.
yeah, I'm not sure.
I mean,
that
if
is
you can
right.
do that, though, I would gladly do it.
I don't think it can't be right. Like
Yeah.
it's just all of a sudden someone's putting on a
We'll look
festival
into
for 3 times cheaper than any other price.
You got one more email over there? I think
yeah.
we got time for one more.
Let's see here.
I've only seen the Avett Brothers one time. They were really, really good.
Okay, so the cheapest are the $35 ones, but those are out in the lawn. Those are the lawn seats.
Huh.
But yeah, I mean,
not bad.
still a good. I mean,
Yeah,
if you're
I mean-
willing to put up with the heat.
I mean, I would say if you could stay the whole day and see all those bands for $35 and Willie Nelson, that's a bargain. Because he
Yeah.
ain't going to be here very much longer. Sorry.
Yeah, he's 90.
I
Yeah,
can't believe
mean,
he's still performing.
Yeah, it makes you
know.
want to smoke marijuana, though. Like, right? I mean, it's like you look at him, you're like, well, what do? You know, like you want to do that. It's
Yeah.
all genetics, but, I mean.
And it does at least lend a little bit of proof that long-term marijuana use isn't that bad.
You're
Right?
right,
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. He looks pretty darn good for 90. But yeah.
The fact that he's even able to perform
How?
on stage
How?
at that age.
For how long?
Yeah.
For 2 hours?
Like, think of people.
Wait a minute. Does a 90-year-old Willie Nelson stand up on stage for an hour 30 and play his hits? Is that a thing?
He may sit
probably
down
has
a
a
little
stool.
bit and plays a harmonica between or
Does
whatever.
the
I don't
band
know.
do the heavy lifting?
I'm
or?
sure.
Yeah,
He's 90.
it has to be something like that. I mean, look at other old people. They just freeze. Just forget what they're saying.
Oh.
Like I'm saying, like this guy's up there high, and he's doing a 2-hour show.
How does he do it? How does he do it?
It must be the weed. Maybe that's the only thing I can think of. Like,
I mean,
is
like
this guy
now-
superhuman?
And now the chat room is they're effing with me and they're preying on my emotions now. They're like, he'll die at any moment, which gets my anxiety
God
up. I'm like,
damn.
I gotta get a ticket now. And see, I've never seen Willie Nelson, and I do like what. Have you ever
Cheap
gone
tickets,
back?
you better go.
Have you ever gone back and seen the old videos of Willie Nelson before the long hair when he was wearing a suit and a skinny black tie and he's on like Ed Sullivan singing like a crooner?
Well, like in the 70s, right?
I was looking at the
60s.
60s.
Okay, yeah.
Like the early 60s or late 50s, he's out there like, oh, my darling. And he's got like the perfect hair. Have you ever seen?
I've never seen that.
There's also videos of Bob Marley like that when he was in like the straight up ska bands singing like a crooner in a straight black suit, skinny black tie, no dreads, tiny little haircut, emulating what all white people did at the time in that style of music. A little Motown, reggae. You got to go look up Willie Nelson and Bob Marley before they like let their hair down, so to speak.
All right, let's do one more.
All right. Early on BDM shows, quote, Boys Only Aftermath, you talked briefly about full self-driving Teslas versus some guy's truck standard highway adaptive cruise control. There is an open source software company that is selling aftermarket high-level adaptive cruise control software that can even do navigation and stopping at stop signs and stop lights on some software forks, at a fraction of the cost of Tesla's FSD. It can also significantly improve the function of stock adaptive cruise control systems on many vehicles. If Tom's truck is the late model I think it is, I believe he could also get it installed. And then he has a video and a blog all about it.
You need just cameras and things. My truck
Yeah.
doesn't have any of that. It's
mean,
got one backup camera. That's not gonna
You
help
can
me.
Good
go backwards.
enough.
You can go backwards.
Yeah. Like I don't know about now. You're just downloading some software in your car that has a couple cameras, and like it'll be
enough.
good enough. Like, hey, now that's the sketchy part of it. Like what?
Yeah.
Because even like Crystal's Traverse has the lane
Assist. and-
You know, keep you in the lane when you're on the
Andrea's
highway.
got that too.
But I don't think you can download some software and then it'll start driving itself like the Tesla does.
I mean, like he's saying that they have that. I mean, like my take on the Tesla stuff is I don't even think they're there yet. But like the other day it had it turned me into oncoming traffic.
Ooh.
It was the worst one it's done.
Well, I mean, was it gonna be like? It was
I had to
just
gun it to get through. Like it made the turn, and there were cars coming,
Okay.
and it was like a left-hand turn. I'll
Yeah,
tell you
yeah.
exactly where it was. You know the Chick-fil-A in Castleberry, like where you turn to go to like the Mr. Car Wash there.
Yeah.
Their car. I was turning there. I was making a left. Cars were still coming, and the light was green. And it just goes, "Wah," and then cars are "Wah," like they're going, and I had to literally slam my foot on the gas so it would go, or I was going to get clipped.
Okay. Yeah. Well, it's not 100%. You gotta pay attention.
You
You'd
do
be
what
asleep.
you do. It's fun. Don't get me wrong, man. Like people go, "Oh, you use it all the time." Yes, I do, but you have to pay attention because it's just not there yet. That's cool.
It will be though. That's where it's heading.
I think so. I think it will be too, but unfortunately, like Tesla is doing some things that I don't necessarily like. Like when they took out the, it used to have like a LiDAR inside the car that was almost a version of the Tesla Vision. They would combine the LiDAR with like the cameras. So you got a lot more accurate indication of how far our cars were and stuff like that. Now they're just relying on cameras only, and it's just not as good. It's just not. Because you're not using any of the, like when you were using radar, LiDAR, like when you were like bouncing signals and actually getting measurements, to me that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, the human eye, the camera
too
eye.
expensive though.
Absolutely. And to cut costs, they started taking those out. So you probably won't see many of those. In fact, the other cheap thing that Tesla started doing that I am definitely anti is, you know, like even on your truck, Samantha's car, on your wife's Traverse, you know the little round sensors that are all around the bumpers?
Okay.
Tesla took them all out. We don't need them. We'll just use the cameras. I don't know about that. I disagree with that.
Is it because just
Cost?
Yeah, I was going to say it's probably just
It's
cost.
Yeah.
Because the sensors, you know, when you're putting in 9, 12 different sensors in every car, you know,
Yeah.
you eliminate that, millions, if not billions of dollars, I guess.
It'll eventually get there, though.
I think so,
Even-
yeah.
We're at the beginning.
Hey, it's there. That's why I'm glad to be early adopter and be a part of it. But yeah. Anyway, we got to take a break. Are we done? We're done.
We're done. Yeah. So we've got a show Friday, and we'll be announcing BDM events pretty soon. If you're not a BDM member, you can sign up at tomanddan.com.
Yes, sir.
And we got our Beer Fest and Sofa and Suds coming up in November. So we got a bunch of events coming up, and some other stuff we'll tell you about later.
Indeed.
So we will see you tomorrow.
Got it. Good job, y'all.
You can do the intro for that one too if you want.
All right, ma'am. We will do. Good job, y'all. We don't have anything else there.
Feels like Thursday.
It does.
I'm like, who do we have in tomorrow for Friday Free Show? And then I'm like, oh, never mind. We have a go-to show tomorrow morning, guys, and Twitch and YouTube. So we probably will not be on Twitch or YouTube until 1 tomorrow. We're going, well, maybe I shouldn't say it because I don't want people to show up while we're recording.
Don't say.
Or maybe I should. Maybe we'll get some people there.
All right, guys. Have a great rest of your day. We'll see you guys tomorrow.